Thank you for joining us today for Parenting 101 with Sister Georgie. Have questions? Seeking answers? Ask Sister Georgie. Tune in to our live shows, Saturdays at 9 a.m. on UMERADIO.com or YouTube.com/UMERADIO. Sponsored by Women and Men of Excellence Outreach Ministries. If you need more information or have an interest in taking online parenting courses and workshops, send an email to support@wamoe.org. This program is in association with CARIBVISION at CARIBVISION.tv. Start watching today.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. We magnify your name, Jesus. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it done in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Hey, y'all. Hey, Sister Georgie from Mississippi, by way of Jamaica, West Indies. How y'all doing today? Oh, my goodness. Ain't God good all the time? And all the time. How God is so good. My Lord. It's been an interesting week. But here we are another Saturday morning. Oh my God, the time is moving so fast. Wow. And it's so nice to know. It's so wonderful to know that Jesus loved us, that the Lord loved us so much that he sent his son Jesus to redeem the world from sin. And I'm just so excited about that today. And I hope you're excited. So, of course, our focus scripture is Proverbs 22, verses 6 and verse 15. And it says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. And foolishness in verse 15 says, foolishness is in the heart of a child, and the rod of correction drive it far from him. So that's important, in learning to train our children up and making sure that they're on the path to greatness, making sure that you're doing the right things as parents. And it's not an easy process, but there's always supports out there to help you to raise them. And when we say to rod of correction, drive it far from him, we're not talking about abusing the child. We're not talking about that. We're talking about, the soft spot in their hand, middle, stuff like that, and they bam, bam, okay? Yeah, you can spank them a little bit, okay? But they got to understand right from wrong. We're not talking about abusing them now. We're not talking about that. Discipline is, touch them in the hand, middle. Don't do that. You know what you did was wrong. Don't do that. Because if they don't understand right from wrong, how are they going to function in society? Like I always said, I always told my children, I dare you call the police on me. Okay, I'm going to whack you behind. You call the police on me when the police come to the door. I'm going to whack you in front of the police again. All right. And when we go out together and you ain't come back in my house. So try me. And I was a mother, call it tough love. I don't bluff. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it. I ain't playing with you. I'm not playing with you. You a child. You're going to learn. You're going to learn how to operate as a child. You're going to stay in a child's place. You're not going to do what you want to do because you in my house. Because you in my house, you can't do what you want. You can't tell me what you're going to do or what you're not going to do. Excuse you. Last time I checked, I'm the parent. So a lot of parents got to understand what their role is as a parent. So if you're a young mother, you're going to seek some help from adults to help you to raise your child because you and your child cannot be friends. I am sorry. You cannot be friends with your child when the child is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, going up to what? 12, 13. You can't be friends with your child. Okay, up to 18, you can't be doing that. Because if you start out like that, being friends with your child, when the child does something wrong, how you going to correct it? When you're always letting them do whatever they want. You can't do that. That's why we got so much problem in society today because children just do what they want because they were young and the parents have let them go. And then now they're older and you crying. You're crying. And you're saying to yourself, what did I do wrong? What you did wrong was you became too friendly with them at a young age. You let them just do what they want. You actually let them raise themselves. So you really didn't tell them no. You didn't do that. You spend more time, worrying about concerning yourself with yourself and not dealing with what the children need to deal with. You didn't spend no time going to school, to making sure everything is good in school. You didn't make sure the kids do their homework. You didn't do half of those things as a parent. So teaching your children, we're talking about life lessons part 2. But I got to put a little tidbit in and try to explain the verse, you know, because it's not like I said, it's not an easy job to raise your child, but you can have positive outcomes if you put the time in and the effort. You make the effort, and you're not perfect. I wasn't perfect because, like I said, I made some mistakes, but and I'm willing to admit to my mistakes. I did share them on another segment, some segments before, you know, but it's okay because the bottom line is once my children understood right from wrong and they know I wasn't playing with them and they know certain things that I'm not going to let slide because they had to learn manners. That was very important to me. And dear my child, get up in the morning and don't say good morning to me. Excuse you? Don't ask me for anything because you will not get it. And the same thing went for when I was in the classroom. A student will walk in and don't say good morning to me. They're going to sit at their seat like I'm not anybody or the class is nobody. And next minute they're raising their hand asking for something. I'm like, who they talking to? Are they talking to me? Touch that person. Ask them if they're talking to me. Okay, because the last time I checked, they walked in the classroom. They didn't say good morning. So if you ain't say good morning, I ain't got time for you. You ain't got no manners, no respect. You know, your mama needs to teach you manners and respect. You need to learn that. That you need to enforce that in your children. Learning manners. It goes a long way. Okay? Don't you pass no adult and don't say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Don't do that. I see children growing up today, and man, if they don't, I'm telling you, I see children like that. I don't pay no mind. I just look at them. And I do you come ask me for what? I don't know you. And you come over here and ask me for something, guess what I'm gonna say to you? I said, excuse me. You don't see me long ago. You came and you ain't say nothing to me. All of a sudden now, because you want something, you coming over here. No. The answer is no. You're not going to get it because you ain't got no manners. Okay? And it's just so sad to watch children, the way they operate. And some children, I try to correct. I remember one time when I lived in the apartment before I moved here, before I moved. There's a child, he kept, lived upstairs, little boy, about 10 years old when I first met him. And he would pass me and never said good morning, never said good afternoon, never said nothing to me. And I looked at him one day. I said, young man, because his mother was Jamaican. And I said, young man, I know your mother taught you better than that to never pass adults. You see me all the time. Okay, to say, give a greeting, say hello, something. Okay, good evening or something. All right. And he left me and went over when his mother came. She was in the street. And I don't know what he said to his mother. Now, the thing I don't understand with adults, I don't get it. If your child come and say something to you and an adult said something, okay? The correct thing to do is come to the adult and verify the situation before you start acting a fool. Now, this mother did not, she believed her son. Okay, she didn't verify with me because I was standing right there. I was standing on the steps and she was out in the street. So he told his mother, I guess, that I said I don't remember, I told him to say good afternoon, whatever, something to that effect, but I don't think he said what I said. That mother was in the street telling her son that he ain't got to say nothing to me. He don't have to talk to me. He don't have to do this. I'm like, my Lord have mercy. Are you seriously telling your child to disrespect an adult? Wow. And I was looking at her and looking at the child, but shaking my head. And I overheard what she was saying. And I said, ma'am, I said to your son, and I was giving her credit. I said, I know your mother raised you better than this to not pass an adult and don't say good afternoon or good evening. And oh my goodness, she had to swallow her pride. She had to swallow her pride. And she had to apologize to me. Wow. 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 Amazing. Because we know from Jamaica, we know people from Jamaica, West Indies, we teach our children manners. So if your child is not doing that, I had to remind them. So I was giving her credit. But instead of her checking it out with me to make sure it's correct what he's saying, bring the child over to me because I'm standing right there. She just decided to disrespect me in front of the child. And come to find that the child did not repeat what I said. Isn't that amazing? So you got to be careful. You really got to be careful what you do as a parent. Okay, because now you're telling the child, you're encouraging the child to disrespect the adult. I wasn't telling them anything wrong. It takes a village to raise a child. You can't raise a child by yourself. You need other people. That's why your child go to school. So if other people to raise them too, because he's not going to be with you 24/7. There are things they're going to learn in different parts of the world. Okay, so you really got to understand that, you can't just jump to conclusions all the time. I tell you, yes, I remember what I did. The mistake I made was when my child came home and told me the teacher did this and that, and I was overwhelmed as a single mom, and I just didn't use correct judgment. She wanted to come out of the class. My daughter would come out of the class so bad. And instead of me going to go and talk to the teacher or the principal and to ask why she wanted to come out of the class, I didn't even go and correct the situation. I didn't go and inquire because I see was so much stuff going on. And I just listened to my daughter and just took her out of the class and put her someplace else. And lo and behold, later on down the road, come to find out my daughter fabricated a lot of the story. Everything she was saying was not completely true. But that was a mistake I made. That was, and the 2 times I did that with her. I don't remember exactly the other one right now, but I did share it already in that segment. So, but I didn't disrespect the principal when I did get a chance to talk to them. But I just wrote the note because she wanted to get out of the class. She kept bothering me and bothering me. And with all the things I was doing, I was inundated with so much stuff with the job and trying to deal with their father situation and dealing with them. It was a lot. Trying to keep up with all the different things I keep up with, it wasn't easy at all. So against my better judgment, I just wrote a letter to take her out of the class. I didn't go and inquire. So these are important things that we just got to make sure as a parent we're doing the right. And yes, we mess up, you know, but don't do it in a way where it's rude, okay? Because then you're going to look bad as a parent, all right? So this is part of teaching important life lessons. How do we teach important life lessons to our children? Part two, okay? And I just started it. I just want to, and just to put some more out there, you know, and talk about respect. That's very important. Give it to others and expect it for yourself. So respect is a two-way. All right. The Bible says you love your neighbor. Matthew 22, verse 37 to 40. Uh, it's first one is love the Lord with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your spirit. And the second one is love your neighbor as you love yourself. So just like how you treat yourself good, you're gonna do that to your neighbor. So this is how you respect yourself. You carry yourself with dignity and pride. You carry yourself in a way where it shows that you have good character. Okay, so just like you demonstrate that, expect it from people as well. Okay, don't just let people just say what they want to say and do what they want to do in your presence. And if you don't like it, say you don't like it. I don't like it. Or if you get a chance to walk away, just walk away. You don't have to let people demean you as a person. You don't let people sit up there and bully you. No, you walk away. You go tell somebody just to save yourself. And when you go home, you tell your parent. Don't let nobody disrespect you and talk down to you as if you're nobody. You are somebody. Okay? And if your parents are teaching you that, don't let nobody demean your character. Okay? And understand also, okay, the right decision is always the popular one, and the popular decision is always the right one. Trust your heart. It would lead you in the right direction. Sometimes you're hanging out with people, you got this gut feeling, I need to go home. I need to not hang out here because I don't think so. And if something in you is saying to you, I need to leave. And you let your friends tell you, oh, where you going? You're checking whatever they want to call you, and you don't want to be a part of that. So guess what? You give into it and fall into a situation. But you wasn't listening to you wasn't trusting your gut instinct that something is not right. Okay. And when you're trusting your gut instinct that something is off, follow it. Separate yourself. Okay, because it's going to teach you the difference between right and wrong. Okay, you don't want to get caught up in something that you didn't want to be a part of. Okay, if you don't feel comfortable in the situation, I don't care if they call you names. So what? At the end of the day, you will be saved. Okay, you'll be in the right, and then you're gonna hear it on the news. Oh my God! You said to yourself, "Oh my God, it's a good thing I left." I remember a case when I worked in prison. Yes, Sister Georgie worked in prison. Yes, and I worked with ages 7 to 17. And there was one incident where a young man, there was like 14 to 15 years old. They were walking on the street. They were not in school. They were skipping school that day. And there was a homeless man lying on the bench sleeping. And the 50-year-old took the can or took something and hit him with it. The garbage can or something hit him with it. So he got up, the homeless man got up and was defending himself. It so happened that the 15-year-old took a rock and beat that man to a pulp. until he died. And his friend sat there and watched it and did nothing. Did nothing. Now they were sitting up in the prison, sitting up in my classroom, and I heard he was telling the story, he was sharing it. And when he then went to court, and the 15-year-old got sentenced, okay, and they were saddened by it, and the one that did not do anything, the judge said to him, why do you not do something? Why you not try to help? And the young man said, he was only a bum. He was only a bum. Now, the funny thing is, he would have gotten off, but he didn't value human life. Okay, he said he was only a bum. So the judge gave him 9 years. He didn't think, and I'm sure in his spirit, somebody was telling him, walk away. Leave your friend there, or tell your friend, stop doing that. And if you don't stop, walk away. But he didn't care about the man. Even though the man was homeless, you don't know his situation. Your behind should have been in school. And they set up in my classroom just having regrets. And they were saying that, I would never kill another human being again. But you're going to sit in prison for another, 20 years. And if that young man had just said, I should have told my friend to stop, and I was thinking about it, but I never told him to stop, it would have went home. It would have went another way. And this is also driving to a point where, be a leader, not a follower. It's another part of it. All right. If he's not doing the right thing, tell him, leave the man alone. Leave him alone. Let's move on. We're not supposed to be here. We're supposed to be in school. And if he refuses to leave the man alone, walk away. Because he's going to be by himself now. And you wouldn't be part of it. So be a leader. You got to teach your children to be leaders and not followers. Okay? All right? And as I talk about also setting an example. All right? Children always do what... Children don't always do what you say at times. They don't do what you say. They do what you do. They follow you. Okay? So you got to be careful. Make sure your word is your bond. Okay? Make sure what you're saying, saying to your child is one thing, but make sure you're setting examples for the child. Okay? Don't just do something and thinking the child's going to follow what you're doing. So a life lesson is always your word. If you stick to your word, what you say you're going to do it. But don't, if you change your mind, let the person know. Teach them these things. All right? Another thing, to do what you say you're going to do. If you tell somebody you're going to meet them, like I said, be a person of your word. Okay? Call them. I just said that. Okay? All right? And finish a project before you start a new one. Okay? And like we said, stand on your word. Okay? All right? So it's important to make sure that you are a person that's honest, as we talked about in the first segment. Okay? Then it says here, you cannot please everyone. Don't bother with that. I used to, when I was growing up, I was taught to, whatever people tell me to do, I just do it. I was taught to be a yes person. And I did that for a time. And that thing, after a while, it used to kill me, because sometimes I didn't want to say yes. No. Sometimes I didn't want to be bothered with all of it. I did not want to be pleasing everybody. I didn't want to do that. I find when I please people, everybody was with my friends. As soon as I began to say no, all of a sudden everybody just gravitate. Everybody just move away from me. But then you realize they weren't really your friends to begin with. They were just hanging around you because of what you were doing for them. But as soon as you change your mindset, and you see the realness of people, okay? So you don't try to please everybody, and in the end, you're making yourself miserable. Don't do that. If you don't like something, you don't like it. And if you're doing it, people not accepting of it, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Okay? And be creative, use your imagination. A lot of times I teach children all the time, be creative, use your mind to create things, draw, do stuff, make your life exciting, make your life different, do things. You sit in your quiet time, instead of, playing on these gadgets all the time. Okay, why don't you just draw? Get a be engaged in the PlayStation, engaged in the on the internet, doing different things. Do something constructive with your time. Creativity. Okay, go outside. If it's warm out there, sit down and draw the trees. Do something. Okay, do something. Draw the gate. Do something. You never understand the little things that you do. Create a sketchbook, something to occupy your time. Don't just caught up in the gadgets. Like I said, I'm not going to stop repeating that, because a lot of children I see kids walking around with all these gadgets all the time. And what are they learning? Okay. All right. And humility, learn to be humble. That's a treasure. Humility is so important. Humility, being humble, is a lack of pride, the feeling or attitude that you have no special importance, that makes you better than others. Okay, sometimes just got to learn to, you know, kind of let go some things, be humbled in your approach. All right. And let hard work and your kind heart do the talking for you. Be humble. Okay. Don't always try to show up yourself all the time. Sometimes just be quiet. Sometimes you be around people, you know who you are, and people just looking at you and think you're not this and that. It's okay. Just be calm, cool, and collective. Don't worry about it. As long as you know who you are and you know what your accomplishments are, it's okay. All right? Be proud of all that you are and all that you do. All right? And all that your hard work, everything. Okay, be proud of it. And people want to say what they want to say, it's okay, because you know who you are. And sometimes just be quiet. All right, just be quiet. And understand every day offers an opportunity to do something different with your life. Okay? All right? Every time you go to bed and you wake up, be grateful, be thankful. Okay? And understand, take each day one day at a time. Today is a day you'll never see it again, but what you going to do today? Make it valuable. Make it something that it will help somebody. All right? Embrace new beginnings. Okay? Value apologies. I spoke about that before. Apologize when you hurt somebody. Say you're sorry. It's like I said, parents telling your children that you're sorry when you hurt them. Very important. You never understand how that apology will do wonders to that child. It will create a healing. Even older parents, your children are adults, and they came to you and say you hurt them. Say you're sorry. You probably didn't even realize that you did something to them. And say, daughter or son, I am so sorry. You'd be surprised how powerful that is. Doesn't matter what age. When you are big enough to say you're sorry, your mother could be in their 70s, 80s, 90s. If they can acknowledge and be sincere about it, you'd be surprised how much you would turn that child's life around. Then the healing will take place when you can say you're sorry. You know? And as I talked about, okay, winning or losing is all part of life. Like I would tell you, teach your children to have fun when they're playing. It's not about whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game. And whatever you're doing in life, enjoy it. You ain't got to always win everything. Just enjoy life. Okay? The good with the bad. It's all part of growing up. Okay? And choose your friends wisely, and then be a good friend. If you know your friend is not really up to par and that friend is leading the wrong path, you say, I got to go. I can't do this. Disconnect. It's okay. It's okay. And if your friends have done things that you didn't like, and if you did it they did it one time and they say they're sorry, they keep doing it, you just got to say, I don't want to be your friend anymore. I'm done. I forgive you. Let it go. You have a choice. You got to stay friends with them. You don't have to. That's your choice. And if they want to say bad things, it's okay. As long as you know who you are and you made the right decisions, that's what's important. Okay? And very important, when you're on social media, teach your children. Don't share everything. Don't put everything on social media. Encourage your children not to put their personal business on social media, because once you put it there, it's there for life. Don't let your daughters showing their half naked self, talking to weird people. You need to know who your daughters and your sons are talking, especially your daughters. You got people got computers in the basement, their daughters in the basement on a computer. Why are you not monitoring what they're doing when they're online? And you're making sure they locked up in their bedrooms and they show exposing themselves on camera. I mean, why you need to monitor these things? Okay. Let them know you can't put everything online, and don't be sending text messages with your body parts. Don't do that. And when a guy tells you to show his part, you don't do that. Encourage your daughters to keep their body covered. Okay? And stop giving it out, showing pictures, doing all these wild stuff. Stop it. And stop letting people daring you to do stuff. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't do it. And please, please don't. I got to repeat it. Don't put all your business online, because once you put it there, it's there forever. Explain that to your children. Very important. All right. Another thing, create a strong relationship with money. Teach them the value of how to earn it and the value of what you own. Okay. Save more, spend less. Okay. It's important. Teach them how to tithe. They say tithing is outdated. It's very important because it worked for me. It worked for me. Tithing, you can never afford not to tithe. I mean, everybody got all different things talking about tithing. But for me, it worked. I can't afford not to tithe. I got to tithe. That's a part of my lifeline. That's me trusting God with my money. And teach children this at a young age. All right? Teach them how to tithe, teach them how to save, and teach them how to spend a little, but not go crazy. And I did talk about teaching them how to use credit. Okay? Teach them about value to have good credit. Okay? Teach them that. All right? Find somebody, if you don't know how to really do it, because you're struggling yourself as a parent, find somebody who can help you, a financial advisor, a tax preparer, somebody. Okay? And be a master of observation. I used to teach my children, my students in the classroom, look, listen, and learn. Look, observe. Observe your environment, people around you. Listen to what's going on and learn what's happening. Okay? Don't just, don't just, just, you know. And if you can learn a lot about someone, watching how they treat others, very important. Someone who is kind to you but rude to the waitress is not a kind individual. That person's a two-term person. Okay, someone who is kind to you but barks at the person parking your car. Okay, or if you go to a hotel, they're just rude to the staff. And the nurse, the doctor, whoever, just being rude. Okay. And remember, your smile and respectful words can go a long way. Very important. Okay? Just be observant of how people act and how people behave. And you as a parent, you got to demonstrate these things. I keep saying children do more what you do than what you say. I mean, you could keep talking to them, yes, there's nothing wrong with that. But also, you got to lead by example as well. And teach them to laugh. Okay? All right, teach them. Laughter is so good. Okay, it's good for the heart. In Proverbs 17:22 says, a merry heart does good like medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones. So when you laughter is so good for the soul. And every time you laugh, it releases endorphins in your brain. It does wonders for you. And sometimes, you know, laugh a little, and sometimes you gotta cry. Sometimes you gotta let out some hurt. Sometimes there's nothing wrong with crying. Sometimes, growing up, they never let boys cry. I never understood that. Girls can cry, but boys can't cry. And now today you got so much angry men walking around here because they were never taught to release the pain that was inside, release the emotion. They tell them, you boys, suck it up, suck it up. Okay, yeah, you little sissy, you up there crying. That was not a good thing. Let them cry. It's okay. It's part of life. Not just girls cry. Who said crying is only for girls? Boys can cry as well. You ain't gotta cry in front of people. What if I cry? If that's what that can happen right there, you cry there. What difference does it make? At the end of the day, you're releasing the pain, you're releasing the stress, you're releasing the hurt. And now we look at what's going on today. So many angry men walking around. Okay, nothing wrong with you crying. Nothing. Laughter is good, and sometimes crying is okay as well. It helps. Okay, and please don't compare yourself to other people. Don't do that. It don't help. All right. So because if you keep comparing yourself to other people, then you're gonna make yourself look bad. Okay, don't do that. Love you for you. All right. Enjoy being with you. All right. Teach your children that. Don't let them trying to copy. I want to be like this person. Don't ever tell your children, oh, you should be like this one or be like your sister. No. Every child is unique in their own way. And you putting down one child and elevating another. Understand this. The child that you put down and make them feel inadequate, that's the child that the Lord looks at. And the child that you put up on a pedestal and telling that one that you put down, I should be like this one, that child gonna make you cry. It happens. I see it happen all the time. And the child that you put up on the pedestal, that child will bring shame to you. Okay, because they watched the way you treated the other child. Okay, because that one's darker, that was this something going on, or things may happen to them. But you put that other child down. And you made that child feel so inadequate. But guess what? That child rises to the top because the Lord will help them. If you remember the story of David, all right? They didn't pay him no mind, but look where he went. He became king of Israel, and he was like a nobody. So be careful how you treat your children. Don't play one against the other. Not healthy at all. Okay? And last one, could run out of time. Follow your dreams. Teach your children to follow their dreams. Have a goal, have a plan, and follow it. Okay? Children they have passions, they have things that they can do. Let them write it down. Okay? And follow their dreams. And moms, dads, you have dreams as well. Okay? Be an example. If you want to do something out of the ordinary, teach your children to do it too. They're watching you. So say I keep talking about stressing going to school, bettering yourself. Do that. Let them see you learning along with them. Yes. They're going to school and you're going to school as well. You both of y'all studying together. That's powerful. That's a dream you had. And your child can see how you are really pushing forward. And you know, your child is proud of you. Okay? So being an example and pushing them to greatness, that's something that you need to push and let the children grow and expand and build, because everything takes time. Okay? And each child, as they're growing, as little as they are, they can all have dreams. They can aspire to be whatever they desire to be. And you encourage it and you help. I always teach my students. I always have my children having, they have one, they have two things. So if they're doing one, say sometimes people want to go, a lot of kids used to want to be football players. So I said to them, or ball players, whatever it is, I said to them, well, if you don't make it as a ball player, what are you going to do to pay the bills? You going to stay at home with your mom, or you going to find, so you need to have at least two. So something to pay the bills. So if you're going to be doing dance, you got to find something to pay the bills until you make it where you got to go, a singer, an actress, whatever it is. You got to have something to fall back on. All right. So thank you so much for listening. Wow, time goes so fast, you know, but I'm just so grateful for the time that we share. Yes. So I want you to subscribe. Okay. I want you to comment. Okay. On our videos. Okay. I want you to share our videos as well with those who, you know, if it had helped you, share it with somebody, share it with your friends, other mothers. All right. And other fathers. I have a great website, thexcelproject.com, and that's partially funded by the Honorable Tyree Woodson Samuels and the Westchester County legislators. Okay, they are really supportive of us in the Excel project. So I want you to go to that site, and there's some great things there you can look at as well. Okay, this is all part of what we do here. The Sister Georgie is all part of that segment of the Excel project. All right, so go there and look at, thexcelproject.com. THEEXCEL project, project.com. Or you go to the website, WAMOE.org. Okay, they'll take you directly there as well. Everything is there. All right. And if you want to write me, go to wamuministries@gmail.com. But as I say, you go to the website, WAMOE.org, and you can get all the information that you need. You know that I love you and Jesus loves you more. Have a great day and a great weekend and a great week. And we'll meet again. This is Sister Georgie from Mississippi by way of Jamaica, West Indies. Goodbye. And of course, you have my books. You have books about my self-esteem. So you got self-esteem issues. All right. You can find these books there. And my testimony of Dr. Faith's testimony, you can find that there as well. So I want you to enjoy your life and enjoy being, being the best parent you can be. And you always ask for help.
Have questions? Seeking answers? Ask Sister Georgie. Thank you for joining us today for Parenting 101 with Sister Georgie.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing today? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great day, because I'm certainly having one. And I just want to talk a little bit about the Excel Project. The Excel Project has been on my heart for so many years. I've launched it in 2014. And it's just, I've been asking God, when is this going to come forth? So I since I joined the virtual network and, after the pandemic started in 2020, April 2020, it's been a blessing. So little by little, things kept unfolding. Oh my goodness. And I'm so excited to see it come to fruition. I love when I see a young man, a young woman doing something positive. Oh, I go out of my way to help them. as much as I can, because they really need somebody to push them and help them to grow and build. Yes, so we have the IAC accredited certificate courses. Yes, and that's a standard continuing education and training. It's a universal model for helping for learning process excellence. So this is something that the students, they get a certificate after they finish the program, so they feel good. So it's like a 6-month course, you know, and we have different people will be training them from different parts of the world. You don't have to be anywhere in the world. You can get this done. You can do this program, sign up for this program, and it will certainly help you, because, you know, we have to save our youth, because the youth is our future in their lives, because everybody is born with a purpose and a plan. But we got to find out what is it we need to do. I always talk to the students when I say to them, what is your passion? And some of them don't know what it is to have a passion. So I said to them, what is it when you were young? Let's go back to when you were young. What is it you like to do? You know, and I would, sometimes it was kind of puzzles. So I kind of give, did you draw? Did you draw, you know, do little cartoons? Did you have a little journal? You draw some little papers you do. What is it you do? And they started thinking, did you like what you do? Did you write down, did you like to do portraits? You write down things that you were dealing with your life. I mean, there are things that you were doing and didn't realize it. Did you like to make things? Did you like to pull things apart and put them back together? And then some of them say, yes, I did that. Okay, so that's a passion. Did you like to sing? You like to dance? You know, and some of them say, yes, I like to cook. So there you go. Yes, we got to, you know, change the way we think, you know, because we have to work as a team, you know, in order to help our young people to grow, because our children are our future. And we got to make sure the future is bright, and we have to be the adults to help them, to push them to where they need to be. And thank you so much for listening, and God bless.
Tune in to our live shows, Saturdays at 9 a.m. on UMERADIO.com or YouTube.com/UMERADIO. Sponsored by Women and Men of Excellence Outreach Ministries. If you need more information or have an interest in taking online parenting courses and workshops, send an email to support@wamoe.org. This program is in association with CARIBVISION at CARIBVISION.tv. Start watching today.